Hello. Welcome back to Genshin Impact. Um, so we're trying to finally, after all this time, finish the Sumeru archon quest line that we're on. Unfortunately, a character that you require is currently doing something else. So I think we have to finish this whole quest line first. It should be almost over. And then we'll be able to have the feast that ends every archon mission. I don't know if there's going to be much more after that, but we'll see.
Hey
It'd be good
there.
to actually
I
have it
saw
done.
you two helping Nilu move some stuff. Are you two also here for the celebration event?
You got it!
My name is Raykar. Nadia and I are this theater's prop engineers. I also help out with some other tasks like housekeeping. The little ones causing a ruckus are my children, Soreen and Abi. I hope they aren't bothering you. They always
more
get
than Paimon
really
does.
excited every time we hold a celebration event. Yes, they are. Everyone here takes great care of them. There's good work here, the pay's always on time, and Nilu and the others will often volunteer to play with the kids. I'm quite content with this current way of life.
Do you mean your life wasn't nearly as good before?
It's all right. It's all water under the bridge now. My husband and I were both adventurers, but he passed away from an accident. Material struggles can always be overcome, but ever since then, I haven't been able to spend much of my energy on anything else. But I still consider myself lucky. Mr. Zubair has helped me a lot, and the atmosphere here is tolerant and kind.
Sorry for bringing up such sad memories.
Oh, it's all right. I don't mind.
She's
Once
such
the
a
event starts,
jarring way
you'll
of
be able to
speaking.
see for yourself the kind of atmosphere I was talking about.
Like, it's not that people don't talk like that. It's just that the kind of people that do talk like that don't have many friends. Not to say I have many friends, but, how do I put this? If your first idea when meeting somebody is to explain your life story and talk about your dead husband, it's not conducive to good conversation.
Hey there!
Ah, a newcomer. Doesn't look too bright.
Hey! Talk about judging a book by its cover!
No, he's right, Paimon. You're
You,
pretty dumb.
on the other hand, you're a special one. How would you describe the concept of art? Mere curiosity is all. It makes no difference whether you answer or not. So that's what you think, Unremarkable. Better than an average person's thoughts, but nothing exceptional. Is art a product that we create and bring forth? Or is it a naturally existing resource?
Both.
I, for one, believe it to be the latter.
Paimon doesn't follow.
I've been staying here for a long time. On occasion, I'd assist them in penning lines of dialogue, but most of my time I just stand back and watch. I prefer to abstain from writing as it spoils the viewing experience. The existence of the theater, of Nilu, and of humanity itself. All of these can be considered as forms of art. It is not some intangible construct beyond the horizon.
How does that have anything to do with us?
Let me ask you this. What do you think is the meaning of art? I suppose that question was a little too difficult for you. To chance upon a spark of inspiration. I have been closely observing you, the players on the stage, and those watching in the audience. Art is already all around us.
Hello.
What? Who are you? You can't can't just go on the stage as you please.
Relax. We're here with Nilu. Nothing to worry about.
I
We're not
see.
suspicious. Just take my word
Sorry
for
for
it.
my overreaction. I'm just, making a prop. No time for chit-chat.
Is that embroidery?
No. Well, yes. But not really. It's a prop. It's just, some fabric. An ordinary piece of fabric that we use in a show. Sorry. I really do need to focus and start working on it.
What an oddball. Is prop making something to be that jumpy about?
Yes,
Oh
Paimon.
well, it's none of our business.
It's a fine detail thing.
Look, Nilu's back! Let's meet up with her. The
She's
event's
just
probably about to start.
doing her job, Paimon.
Sorry for the wait. Preparations for the celebration are finally done. I'll call everyone over, and then we can start.
Let us give you a hand.
Thank you.
Maybe we really should have prepared a gift. Then we could also be a part of the exchange. As it is, all we can do is wait and watch.
Maybe we shouldn't do this after all. I didn't do that great of a job. And who would even like it?
Oh, don't think like that. Remember our promise? We're going to give everyone a pleasant surprise. And besides, you've never attended a celebration event before, so this will be a great opportunity. Everyone will love you.
I'm still not really sure about this.
There's nothing to be worried about. Just take a step forward and give yourself a chance. There aren't any scary people here, right?
If you fuck up,
Right.
it's only everything you love in
Alright.
life that's gonna get laughed
Maybe
at.
this will help. Everyone,
We're all good.
over here! Inaya has something great to tell you all.
Oh, I hate those type of people.
Wait!
Fuck this lady.
I've already said that I'm not ready yet. What should I say?
Take it easy and relax.
Fuck you, Nyla.
Deep breath, in and out. Once you've taken a long
You were great
exhale,
up until this point.
calmly tell everyone what you
Never
want
do
to
that
say.
to somebody.
If you don't say anything, then all the hard work we put into embroidery
Never,
practice would have gone to waste.
Ever do that to somebody.
Using it as a gift, though? It really isn't that good.
So when Inaya was talking about making a prop, she was actually preparing a present. Yeah, it feels like she still doesn't really see herself as part of this community. But it looks like Nilu's trying to ease her through.
Actually, Inaya had prepared a special present for everyone before the celebration kicked off.
Woohoo! We're gonna get our first present from Miss Inaya!
Pipe down! The louder you all are, the more nervous she'll become.
The fact that you pointed out that everyone knows she's nervous.
Don't be afraid.
Not
You
good.
got this.
Tell them to hush.
Uh,
Or let them scream.
Is Mr.
But
Zubair
don't.
here?
Don't be like that.
Sheikh Zubair, this is an urgent notice from the Academia. This celebration, or whatever it is, must stop at once.
What a condescending guy. What's his deal?
Since Zubair Theater has long violated the Academia's policies and orders, we have decided to demolish it. As its manager, you must halt all operations and dismiss all staff members within 30 days, after which you will report to the Academia for further punishment.
To be fair to both sides, A, it's a theater. What the fuck do you think they do? If you wanted them to stop doing artsy stuff, which I'm assuming they're still at that point in the story, then maybe don't have a theater. Like, just should have demolished it after the edict first came out. And on the other hand, he is right. It is their law that you're not supposed to have artsy stuff, so he's just doing his job. He's not really being super rude about it, just saying the law.
Why force us to do this all of a sudden?
Little girl, this is not the first time you've been issued a warning.
I didn't hear anything about demolition the last time I asked, and now I suddenly only have 30 days? We have more shows planned, but it's impossible to do anything in just 30 days. How am I supposed to explain this to my customers and staff?
That issue is of no concern to me, Mr. Zubair.
Especially because you're not
seem
supposed to be
understand the
doing
situation quite
shows.
clearly.
You
Perhaps
know?
you can reflect on the reasons why you have failed to prepare for the scenario in advance.
Demolition? Why do they want to demolish this place?
The Academia has never liked us, and they've never respected our work. To them, what we do is all a waste of time. This isn't the first time they've come by. They had asked us several times in the past to improve the quality of our performances by only putting on shows they consider to be sufficiently intellectual. But our audience isn't the Academia. It's the people of the Grand Bazaar. If our shows are too difficult to understand or too removed from everyday life, nobody would watch them anymore. Changing our content would not only mean turning our backs on our vision, it would also directly lead to the loss of our livelihoods. Yeah, the theater is very important to each and every one of us.
The way they're doing things is so scummy.
But I also don't know how we can stop them.
I do not wish to explain everything again from the beginning. Time is of the essence, so you should act with haste instead of asking frivolous questions.
But none of us plan to accept this. Such an abrupt notice is contrary to established policy.
Ask whoever you will, the answer will remain the same. We have already given you sufficient notice.
Enough! Does your audacity know no limits, Father?
Huh? Father? Their family?
What academia? This is all because you don't like Zubair Theater. You're just using the Academia's name to threaten us. Let me tell you, even if you manage to tear down this place, nothing is going to change. You've always been awful. But even I never thought my father would sink this low.
This is strictly business. It has nothing to do with where you are, what you do, or what you think. I hope you all have not been irrevocably blinded by folly. I will not waste more time on pointless arguments. Wrap everything up, and make preparations to shut down at once.
That makes more sense.
Why is he always like that?
This is quite the misfortune, but there's nothing we can do. That's it for today, everyone. Let's clean up. I'll go talk to them again tomorrow. The storms that come out.
Cringe one-liner.
Sorry. I invited you thinking this was going to be a happy occasion. I didn't know that things would turn out like this.
There's no need to apologize, Nilu. No one could have seen this coming. Paimon just wishes she could have at least gotten to the food. Is what that guy said true? The Academia has already given you many warnings?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. They've always seen us as being meaningless. Knowledge is king in Sumeru, and their pursuit of it leaves no room for the arts. But if that's all it is, there's also no reason to go so far as to demolish the theater. After Anaya ran away from home, I brought her here to Zubair Theater. She rarely talks about her family. All I know is that she didn't get along with them. I never expected it to blow up like this.
If you did nothing wrong, then there's no reason to listen to the Academia, right?
Nahida? You mean Lesser Lord Kusanali?
She'd probably help if she knew what was going on. No matter how nasty the Academia could get, surely they can't win against Lesser Lord Kusanali.
No. I wasn't doubting her ability. I just feel like we shouldn't bother her with such a trivial problem.
people's
Plus, if
lives.
the
It's not
Dendra
trivial,
Archon were to
Nilo.
intervene, then it wouldn't feel like our victory was earned.
That's true.
Okay, but if you want to get across to the academia and they have any respect for Lesser Lord Kusanali, you know, their replacement for the Wisdom God. And I know they don't have much respect for her. But it would actually work if she talked to them. Then, at the very least, they couldn't say it's completely meaningless. Because at least a portion of what makes their city is disagreeing with them. If that makes sense. And while I agree you should probably, you know, find another way because you can't always rely on her, the reasoning shouldn't be because it doesn't feel like we earned it. Because that's just not a long-term sustainable thing. Take the victories you can get, work on finding another solution in the meantime.
Who cares? Let's just take him in a fight. That's true.
I'll try to think of something. We can't just let everyone suffer in a perpetual state of fear and uncertainty. What to do? What to do?
Can you pretend to shut down, but secretly continue to hold your shows somewhere else? Or we could go through a list of customers and try to see if anyone in there might be willing to help out.
A debate? Huh. Well, scholars do love to use them to solve their problems.
Oh! If we can prove to Inaya's father that the Academia's position doesn't hold water...
I see. Defeating him in a debate. It's a good idea, but which one of us could hope to win against a researcher? Huh? Me?
No.
No. I'm the literal worst at arguments. I can't debate.
Nilu, you are only so stressed out right now because you care so much about protecting the theater.
This theater holds a special meaning in all of our hearts. But I just don't know. Can I really take on such a huge responsibility?
Paimon will help too. You feel...
Thanks, you two. Alright. Even though I may fail, I'll do my very best for everyone's sake.
That's our Nilu. We're rooting for you.
Okay. Let's head back and tell everyone what we came up with.
Okay.
Trying to best the academia in a debate is attempting the impossible. If you really want to try, I won't stop you. It's not like our situation can get any worse.
I don't think it's entirely hopeless. To Sharif, Nilu's approach will come off as naive, but that kind of frankness is exactly what they lack the most. Things might turn out differently from what you expect.
I am in favor of such a romantic feat. No playwright will turn down a compelling underdog story.
Sure, in fiction, but I'm not sure how well that will translate to reality.
Is that guy wearing a pot on his
I'm
head?
not saying that I don't support you, Nilu. If you need my help, just say the word. Anything is better than just standing aside and watching the theater get demolished.
He's wearing a pot on his head. Like a flower pot. Like if you move this, there's a hole there for water to drain. This is just a flower pot. He wrapped it in cloth. Okay.
I'm also pitching in. Let's show the academia that we have some fight in us.
Why?
Thank you,
I
everyone.
get it, Sumeru,
I
but
feel a lot less nervous with
I don't
your
think-
support.
a pot like hat would be...
Not to rain on your parade, but my father is a real hard guy to deal with. He's erudite, meticulous, demanding, and exceedingly familiar with rigorous logic.
The fuck does erudite
It'll
mean?
be extremely difficult to beat him in a debate.
Oh, he's just knowledgeable. He's a smart man. Okay.
You all already knew that. But you just didn't want to hurt Nilu's feelings. When all's said and done, aren't you hurting her just the same?
That's enough, Inaya.
Sorry, I've ruined the mood. I just can't force myself to expect a positive outcome. Nilu shouldn't have to push herself for the sake of an impossible goal.
Yeah, it's way too early to give up.
You're right, Inaya. We're up against the Academia. Everyone knows that they're very powerful. Being skeptical might actually be the more normal response, but I still want to try. And it's not just me. I think everyone else here feels the same way. Say what's on your mind, and do what you think should be done. I mean, after all, the only thing we can control right now is our choice at this very moment.
I understand what you're trying to say. I also have my own intense feelings of...
Then, could I trouble you to tell your father about our plan for a debate? You can still get in touch with your family.
Yes.
Then, please help us pass on my request. I've never participated in a debate, but since we've decided on a debate, I'll do my best to prepare for it. I, by myself, definitely don't have enough wisdom to beat your...
Right.
That's right, Miss Nilu.
Beat the bad guy. Justice will prevail.
Make him eat dirt.
You two. We aren't getting into a fight. But thank you for your encouraging words. I'll do my best.
Well said back there, Nilu.
I felt that I might have said a bit too much.
I think they
Anyway,
have one
we
misconception
better start
about
preparing
debates. Debates aren't to
First,
make the
let's
other
see how
guy
you
see your
think about
side,
the situation.
but for the people watching to see your side.
Alright, time to pull everyone.
Mr. Zubair,
It won't be I have I did all of that to protect our... Yes. If I can't in summer, as long as you...
all right?
While you... Once you're done...
Do we really?
Right now, Nilu, with your
I've never thought... I also want to...
You're becoming more... Do your best.
Her?
My teacher. She was an excellent dancer, but she's retired now. If we have...
When the day comes, I'll get my... If anything goes... I can't...
I didn't expect
kinda
that
skipped through
remark,
these
but I
dialogue
can't do
lines.
Sorry.
It's all right. Have faith.
But won't you have her...
Ah, relax. Look at us. He was... we wouldn't...
Are you...
Yes, but I truly do mean what I say. The most important thing about an experience is how you... I can choose to believe that my life ended with similarly...
Oh, she's
good
talking about her husband's
you
death
have a-
again.
Nilu, you don't have to...
Thank you, Miss...
No need to thank me. If any...
You're... all right.
You.
Paimon does...
So, you've already developed some prejudices against me.
Oh!
Although, I know not if you have a new answer to my previous question. What do you think?
This...
We probably do need to tackle this I don't know how to explain it. Does that count?
You answered him.
No. Nilu's answer the meaning of art comes not from its creators, but from its audience.
I have very strong opinions on art when it comes to this kind of idea. So, there's many different ways you can look at art. The ones, in my opinion, that are most important is whether or not you are satisfied with it. Because you can put all your inspiration and ideas and love and care into a piece of art. But to actually call it art, you yourself have to, in the end, be satisfied with the outcome of it. So if you create something and then you look at it and you go, this is ugly, and you go to throw it away, then it's not really art for you. Even if you had a good experience making it. And then, like they said, from the it's not from the creators, but the audience's point of view, art is what they enjoy. And that's why a lot of people say art is objective. Yeah. Because a different person can think something's art and another one think it's just trash. And then some people say it depends on the backstory, which I disagree with hard. Like, I think it's Jason Pollock. A lot of people like his art, not because it's good, but because he was a mentally deranged man. And while the backstory can help you appreciate art, I don't think it makes something inherently good. Like, Starry Night is supposed to be his point of view out his window in like an asylum or something. And that means I can appreciate this art that's already something I think is good. But if it was just a blue sky, a gray walls around it, and little stars in the sky, and it was ugly, I wouldn't then say it's a good piece of art. There's plenty of people in asylums that make art. That does not make those art good. And there's plenty of insane people that throw art just randomly on a canvas. That doesn't make it art. And so we built up some of these artists that just don't make good art. And we say because of their backstory, this now has meaning. Or because people are willing to pay large sums of money for it, it now has meaning. When to begin with, it wasn't a good piece of art. I don't care if it's the size of a skyscraper. If somebody just threw paint on it, I'm not going to be that interested in it. I don't care about the backstory. Because you would have to go out of your way to make me interested in this. Which you just... The story is interesting, the art itself is not. And if the art is a way to tell the story, that's one thing, but that's not what people do. They say, oh, look at all this art he's made. It's great. I love it. Also, here's the backstory if you want to know. Which is kind of backwards for me, because I'd rather you say, hey, there's this guy who was like this, and this is what he made. It's not great, but this is why he did it. This is his story. That's a lot more interesting than his art will ever be. And so, the meaning of art comes from a lot of different places. And a lot of people will say stuff is art when it's just inherently not. Because they like the backstory. When the backstory itself is more interesting than anything they've ever created. I don't know, I shouldn't ramble about this.
In other words, only art that can be appreciated by others will impart its essence and value upon the minds of its audience.
To summarize, I don't agree with this.
This is something that the academia
but I understand the
will
point of view a
never
lot more
understand.
than art being something only the creator truly knows, or the backstory is really what's important. Because at least this, you can put a numeric value on it and say, yes, people actually like this. Unequivocally, just looking at it, it's appealing. Just listening to this music, it's appealing to a wide variety of people. It's the same as if, like, somebody just had chalk on a blackboard or whatever. That irritating nail sound. And then just said, yeah, this is an art because people will pay for it and I have an interesting backstory for it. But it's not something that's nice to listen to. It's not something that gives you any kind of experience. It's just a harsh noise. I don't know, I need to stop talking about this.
I once pursued the mastery of art, much like how a researcher would chase. However, the more of a connoisseur I became, the less I felt I understood. I began to question what it truly meant for art, to be understood at all. I knew that the most sophisticated works are often the least appreciated, and yet somehow that provided me with little solace. I remained even perplexed about this conundrum until I visited this theater and watched one of Nilu's performances.
It was that life-changing?
Everyone here had a joyous part in the overall experience. The actors upon the stage, in all honesty.
Hey, don't say.
But what bewildered me was how, despite the performance's middling quality, they captivated their whole audience. They captivated even me. I realized that I left the so-called front. Art will no longer be a castle in the sky. Whether it be inspiring or entertaining, art must be appreciated by others to confer value. If art can...
When you put it that, Mr. Zubair and I refused to follow the Academia's order. To put it simply, we were afraid that our shows would lose their meaning if people could.
I once stood in the spotlight. I care not for where my feet may take me next. But Nilu, you already stand. You cannot give...
I understand.
Dust the cobweb...
I think a part of
I care a lot about the theater.
Once you
theater
get to know him, you'll
and what
realize that
actually
he's
makes
actually a
it
big softy at
good
heart. He'll even help out with furniture repair and painting
is
the
what
stage.
makes interpretive dancing
Paimon
bad.
didn't think he had that in him at all.
Because theater, they don't just put things on for show and for pompous reasons. They try to tell a story. And stories always have lessons. Or at least they show you something that you did not know. Or a way to look at things or something. Especially the good ones. And so to say that they're just unintelligent things is kind of an insult to the very fabric of what it means to tell a story. And to say you have to dumb it down for your audience is kind of insulting. Because you can tell an intelligent story without it being, oh yeah, and the calculus for quantum physics is blah 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 blah. Because that's not what knowledge is. That is a form of science and nerd shit, but it's not all there is to knowing things.
You're here. Is the theater act...
He's been worried sick for...
Hey,
Yes.
what the heck? That came with no war...
They're messing with...
Don't tell me you're...
Come on.
Yeah,
There's no need to. If I win,
Really? Mine too.
yeah.
good thing they have...
Yeah, they need to touch... Exactly. Don't worry. Everyone...
Right. If they don't believe that...
Maybe you can prepare...
And what this really tells me is that the academia has a shitty form of
Maybe
government.
that's something I should do.
They have a
Ignore
dictatorship
him. He's joking. Just do things your way.
where anyone can be
No matter
dictator as
what,
long as
we
they're
will
smart enough.
always support you.
Thank you all so much.
They are always...
And as long as somebody's dictator,
Gotta
they
show
can
them
tell
who has the
anyone what they
people's
can and
support.
can't do and whether they're a part of the government or not. And they use the school as a means to both pick up people and cast people
Let's head
aside.
back to the theater and organize our thoughts. Abby, have you seen Miss Inaya?
No, Miss Nilu. Miss Inaya isn't back yet. Wasn't she just passing on a message? Did she really?
Traveler, Paimon, I think what if Inaya never played?
What?
It's just a gut feeling, but knowing her, she probably thinks that all.
Oh, right.
She has a long-standing conflict with her father. She doesn't think that we can win the debate, and she doesn't want to implicate us. So she thought leaving was the best thing to do.
Mm-hmm. And then she just quietly left afterward.
Exactly. Anyway, first things.
But where should we?
I think I might know before I brought her. If she has nowhere,
Then let's go take a.
yes, let's.
outside the city? Okay. Jack, I had a bad feeling.
There are signs that someone had stayed here very...
But we can't confirm. Let's take a look. Did you hear that?
I heard it too. Let's investigate.
It sounds like we're getting closer. The voice is coming from over there.
Yes, we're almost there. Stay back!
It's Inaya! She's being attacked by wild animals!
Hinaya, don't be scared! We're coming to help!
There's more of you.
Positions!
I can't wait for the new kingdom to come out. The Water Kingdom. We're gonna fucking
There weren't
obliterate
so many big
them.
animals
They're
in this
gonna turn to
area before.
dust.
They chased after me for a long time. Sorry. I'm causing trouble for you again.
Why did you leave by yourself? You really don't think we have a chance at winning the debate?
No. I just thought it would take too much effort. Everything happened because of me. If I'm gone, then the situation will resolve itself.
Yeah! Everyone's working together!
It's all right if it's me. You guys are the kindest people I've ever...
Listen to me. Even if you were the reason that all of this happened, no, Mr. Zubair said that you're one of us. So that means we will protect you. No matter what happens, we'll stand as one.
Nilu,
I mean, this
you
isn't gonna
can't
stop their
win
plans.
a debate against the academia.
Anyway.
Especially, my father is an extremely demanding man. He's always wanted me to become... I tried but he still wasn't satisfied. I'm no genius. But when... Yeah.
So that's why you ran...
At first, for one exam, I thought that... I even used the embroidery skills. I thought...
I see.
Yeah. I was tired of him yelling, but...
Sounds like a bad father.
You think you should be proud of I forgot how long I'd cried for. They argued for such... I've completely given up. We're
How horrible!
I don't think you can beat him in a debate. He can never understand the relationship performers have with their audience.
Again, they
His life is devoid of camaraderie.
completely misunderstand the point of a debate. A debate is not for them to understand your point of view and accept it. A debate is essentially for everyone else to hear both sides and decide who's right. And so him not understanding might actually help you in a debate, because you might be able to point out how this is just his own ignorance and stupidity, rather than, oh, he can't understand us, therefore we lost. Because you could just say the same thing. We disagree. You're just being an idiot. You don't understand anything. You're wrong. And then nobody wins the debate. Because debates aren't for the opponent to understand your side or to agree with you. It's for you to put up an argument that everyone can accept. And that there is no denying. Anyone can deny any argument at any point without evidence. That doesn't make them right. And so saying he's a smart man and he would never accept this does not mean he would win. Because it's not up to him. He can deny it all day long if he doesn't debate properly and actually come up with reasons for why art is bad. Then he's gonna lose.
He just wants everything to happen according to what we cherish.
It sounds like your path.
I understand, but when we were preparing for the debate, I heard some. Mr. Zubair has been meticulously No.
I disagree.
Everyone is free to.
Art must first be...
The most important thing about an experience.
No. Miss Raykar has gone through a lot in her life. Although she told me that I can sympathize with those unhappy experiences allowed you to really cherish your bonds with everyone. Don't let your past suffering keep you from the new life.
Oh.
Let the past stay in the past.
Or just understand that your father was an abusive asshole and that his opinions and point of views cannot be taken seriously. And so if he's going to stand in the way, do everything you can to stop him rather than running away and saying this is all my fault, because that's exactly what he wants. Because that's exactly what he thinks, is that you're stupid and worthless. And you're not going to get anywhere just acting the way he thinks you should act. When the way he thinks you should act is so bad for you and so good for him.
When I ran away from home, but you're right.
Maybe you'll disappoint him, but that doesn't matter. Don't let go of the answer you've worked so hard.
That's right. If we...
You're right. I'm not trying to meet his expectations. So why should I give up because of him?
And why do you give a shit if he's disappointed? He's already proven he's not fit to be a good father. You're all acting like he's still somebody she should treat as a father, even if it's in this manner. I would not. Somebody can be disappointed in you and not be a piece of shit.
I can't afford to lose anything more. The debate will not only protect Zubair Theater, but also allow me to settle things with Father.
That's the spirit!
Let's go. I know him very well.
All right.
You didn't even tell him about the debate. Wait. Did that just start? It started the quest that we originally wanted to do, that we're doing this one for because she was here. But now she's there. And we can't continue this quest because she's too busy being there. Especially in this type of tense situation. No, you would not be there. She would be here! Because she wouldn't have had time to think about any of that shit. It's faster if I just run. Hello? We just beat the shit out of that boy?
Good morning. Looks like you're awake. Yep, yep.
Yep, yep.
I prepared some breakfast today. Please have a taste. I hope you like it.
It's nice to have you here so we can eat something yummy.
Is that wasabi?
Now that I've recovered from Alizar, I'm
Oh.
feeling better than ever.
Something
I
else.
can even prepare 4 or 5 meals a day now.
I forget what it's
And
called.
Paimon bets they're all delicious.
It's a type of nut.
Oh, by the way,
I don't know. I don't like
someone
nuts,
brought
so.
a letter for you after you went to sleep last night.
Nope. Paimon wanted to read the letter with you after you woke up. So Paimon didn't open it. Alright, let's read it now. Oh, it's from Nilu. We're going to hold a feast at the Grand Bazaar and celebrate Cyano's reinstatement as the General Mahamatra. As heroes of Sumeru, please be sure to attend. I'll wait for you. The date of the banquet is written on the back. It's in 2 days.
Oh, I've also heard that you've become heroes here as well. That's amazing. Sometimes I'm really envious of strong and confident people like you. Oh, you're embarrassing me.
Anyway, let's go to the Grand Bazaar to have a look.
Oh, before you leave, be sure to inform Master Tainari.
I shall. I shall. I wanted to see the boy. Anyway. Anori, let's go.
Ah, good morning. How do you feel today?
We feel much better. How about you?
I'm recovering well. Thanks for asking.
But from the looks of it, you seem to be already busy with work again.
It's fine. I'm not that busy, really. The Elazar patients have recovered, as well as Hypatia. For now, I only need to tend to my Forest Watcher duties.
It seems once Irminsul started getting better, everything else started to recover too.
Yes, but there are still some residual effects. The withering is one example. Though it won't spread anymore, the existing zones won't just disappear. We forest rangers will still need to do the work.
By the way, we have some good news. Sino got his position back.
This news is hardly new. He had already mentioned it to me before.
Huh? You mean he was already here? Why didn't he come to say hi to us?
He visited once, but he was afraid of disturbing you while you were resting. He just asked me a few questions and left.
Then you probably already know all about the celebration feast.
Celebration feast? No, I haven't heard anything about that.
Huh? But didn't Nilu say in her letter that they would celebrate Sino? He didn't tell you?
Perhaps. Or, alternatively, he doesn't know about it either.
Come to think of it, Sino doesn't seem like the type who'd enjoy a celebration feast. You and Kale are both Sino's close friends. Why don't you come to the feast with us?
Kale has taken over some of my tasks these days. I don't think she'll have time for it. Not to mention me.
It's still weird to me that neither Kale nor
You see,
Sino.
some VIPs have
Sino?
come to the forest
Tainari.
recently.
Huh? VIPs? Very important Paimons?
Well, technically speaking,
healers.
they are former
Even though they're
VIPs. The
healers.
sages involved in recent incidents have begun their training in the
It's the
Avidia
only
Forest, and
instance of
people they had
healers not
previously
being
imprisoned
healers that I
have
can
been
think of in
released.
this game.
Huh?
Yes, he's a little weak, but
I might
he
be
isn't
wrong,
injured and
but
his condition is stable. Lesser Lord Kusanali, in her boundless mercy, has decided to spare Azar and the other wrongdoers.
it's weird to me.
Supposedly, they were ashamed of their shallow ideologies, and
Especially 'cause
have
it would make them
decided to
decent
dedicate
characters
the
if
rest
they
of
could
their
heal people a
lives to
little bit.
cultivating wisdom in the Avidia Forest. When they learned that
Or at least
Lesser Lord
themselves.
Kusanali had defeated the Balladeer and saved Irminsul, they were shocked at first, but also became happy, feeling that the sacred light guiding them on the path of discovering wisdom had begun to shine once again. As a result, work has increased for the Forest Rangers.
That sounds really exhausting.
There is nothing we can do, really. But that's another topic. Back to the matter at hand. Are you two planning to head out?
Ah, right! We're
Of
here to
course.
request permission to head out.
I hadn't had to
Would
think
that
about
be
it again.
okay?
You've
R.I.P.
recovered well.
R.I.P.
You may go. But be careful.
Yay! Will do!
Oh, it says there's a thing here. Oh, it's all the way up there. I shouldn't collect it. Shouldn't collect it. Don't need it right now. Not a big deal.
This weather is perfect for doing nothing at all.
Me when the theater's being shut down, but they're still
Well,
operating.
there won't be any problems if the feast starts at that time. Everything has already been prepared.
Mr. Zubair, I finished tallying things up here. Well, except for the guests.
Is a simple reply really that much to ask of our guests? It's affecting our arrangements.
Oh, it'll be fine. Besides, it never hurts to get things ready in advance.
I was thinking the same thing. The feast will be held sooner or later, right?
Hey, Nilu!
Simple.
Traveler, hi.
Prepare extra. It's fine.
So here we are!
You're the best. The other guests haven't even replied yet.
Huh? Are we the only ones that have arrived?
Yeah, I had someone deliver letters to all of our guests. But maybe everyone is still busy with other things.
Look, I get it. Sumeru is in an extremely important period of transition right now, but even if your friends are important figures, they shouldn't just ignore your request like this. Nilu is Sumeru's #1 celebrity after all.
Being a celebrity
You
doesn't
have no
change
idea
anything.
how happy I am to talk to people with good taste.
If you consider enjoying Nilu's dances having good taste, then almost everybody has good taste. Because Paimon thinks everybody
That's right. We all think she's amazing too. Nilu is an absolute favorite among those of us who frequent the Grand Bazaar. Master Zubair, let's have a vote for the most outstanding audience members next time.
Nonsense. It is not for us to determine the value of an audience. But indeed, we could try giving gifts to people with particularly good taste. I heard there's a device in Fontaine called a camera that can record people's appearances as pictures. Such pictures would make superb gifts.
They're also in Liyue, a place that you're literally bordering. I'm surprised you do not know or have them, especially because you're Sumeru, this high-tech, big brain type place. It is really weird.
Ooh, good idea. I wonder where we can find one.
You guys are so funny. There's really no need for that.
There's always a lot going on at the Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, and that's why I love it here. Traveler and Paimon, could you help confirm if the letters were actually delivered? If for some reason they didn't receive the letters, then please tell everyone that there will be a—
Yeah, we can also check out how everything is—
When I wrote the letter as for Sino, we've only heard that he appears at the Academia from time to time. I'm not too sure about Ramon's whereabouts. As for Dunyarzad, I just hope she's feeling—
Okay, got it. Let's go, Traveler.
So they did send one to Sino. Let's go up here because it says up. Probably gonna be, yeah, all the way up here.
We haven't seen Alhaitham anywhere. Let's ask that person over there.
How about we ask, you know, the person who's actually like on duty and needs to know things.
Yes, it seems Scribe Alhaitham has gone to the House of Dana. You should be able to find him there. But you're already the second group of people I've seen looking for him today.
Oh? Who else was
Mr. Cave was just here asking about him. You wouldn't believe
Cave?
how terrible their relationship is. And now you two are here.
Nah, it's
Don't
okay,
tell
they
me
fucking.
everyone's here looking for gossip about the sages.
No way. We're strictly here on business.
Ah, I see. Sorry, I thought maybe everyone's as interested in rumors about the sages as I am.
The House of Data. I don't care how it's pronounced. That's what I'm calling it. Because I think it's funny. My cat, Bear. He's a chunky little black cat. He's snoring. Right over there. He's dead asleep.
Oh, Hatham should be around here somewhere, right? Oh, he's over there! But it looks like he might not have time for us.
Just put down that worthless book and tell me what happened in the academia.
This is not just some worthless book. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to find a physical book like this in Sumeru?
It doesn't matter. It's probably just another
Just a
thing that you used
bookshelf
your
over there of
authority to get your
physical
hands on
books.
anyway. Just put it aside. Listen, I came back today only to hear that the sages have disappeared.
Oh, you sound surprised. I thought you would already know the inside story.
Would I be here asking you if I knew? You're the scribe, not me. So just...
Well, I almost became a sage.
Huh?
Oh, don't sound too surprised now. You're the renowned Kaveh, light of the Ksharawar. Besides, as a master builder and craftsman, chances are you'll be appointed as a sage too.
Why do I feel like you don't really mean it?
Make my boy sage.
What makes you say that? Why would you question my heartfelt sincerity?
Maybe it's because you've never said anything good about me before.
Yeah, well, I share a similar sentiment, and anyone who knows you as well as I do would surely do the same.
Oh, you... See? This is why I hate discussing anything with you. Your ridiculous and arrogant attitude always gets in the way.
It seems that you really can't stand my personality.
Ha! What was your first clue?
Well, then you might as well move out of my house.
Are you threatening me? Stooping to a new low, I see. Ugh, and don't change the subject. You, a sage? What a joke. The academia might as well just close tomorrow.
Are they having a fight?
No, they're having a lover's spat.
Forget what's going on with the academia. Haven't you been busy with your construction project? Tell me, when are you going to build yourself a mansion?
Don't get me started. I get angry just thinking about it.
So, what great building did our master architect work on this time?
Like I need to tell you. Keep your nose out of my business.
No, I think we deserve to know. Where were you when Sumeru needed you most?
I was in the desert for a large project, but considering Haravatat's utter ignorance of architectural and aesthetic matters, you probably wouldn't understand. Which is truly unfortunate. I can only pity the man who doesn't understand the first thing about beauty and romance. Unlike a true... hold on, wait a second. What do you mean by when Sumeru needed me most?
Well, while you were out fiddling around in the desert, many people came together to save Sumeru from a crisis.
Ha! And you think I'd believe that?
Look, all you really need to know is that Azar and all his accomplices have all been overthrown.
Huh? What nonsense are you talking about?
It's no skin off my nose if you don't believe me. It's not like my Darshan was the one trying to apply for funding from the Grand Sage. Yours, though, on the other hand...
You know what? I'll ask around. I'm sure someone knows what's going on here. You're dead if I find out you're lying to me.
The key point is, even though Kaveh would have been absolutely useless in that situation, Al-Haytham needed him. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, It's you two. What's the matter?
We're running some errands for Nilu. Have you received her letter?
Letter?
Nilu said she sent out a letter inviting everyone to a celebration feast in 2 days at the Grand Bazaar. We'll also be celebrating Zino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra.
If she addressed the letter to all Hatham of the Academia, then the letter should have gone to my office. I've been busy these days, so I haven't had time to check for any new mail at my office. I only now have some free time to attend to personal matters.
Have you always been so busy with your work?
Of course not. I'm only busy these days because several sages have been dismissed recently and the whole Academia was practically turned upside down.
Yeah, they
Tainara
should
told
be.
us they all went to train in the Avidia Forest. Apparently they will spend the rest of their lives there.
That is already the best possible ending for the likes of them. 4 of the 6 great sages were possessed by their desire for power and attempted to create a new god. In order to pull it off, they even imprisoned the other 2 rational sages. To imagine such things could take place in the Academia. I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, you're right. Huh. Feels kind of strange to hear them called that after all this time. But then again, the 6 great schools sounded pretty impressive too.
Yes, at least that's how they're supposed to sound. It's said that when the Academia was first founded, the Dendro Archon herself established the 6 great schools, each representing one of the 6 different types of wisdom. Numerous Darshans have sprung up and faded. Only the 6 Darshans attaching themselves to the 6 great schools have stood the test of time and obtained permanent seats in the Academia. Now, the 6 Darshans are nearly synonymous with the 6 great schools, and the leaders selected for the schools are the 6 great sages. Among the 6 great sages, there is one central leader, the Grand Sage. Unfortunately, only the sages from Vahumana and Amorta remain now. They were imprisoned for opposing Azar and were only rescued after Azar's downfall.
So who's managing things in the other 4 schools now? Do they need to find someone new?
Yes. Normally, new sages are selected based on a strict set of criteria.
Oh, didn't you just say something about becoming a sage? If they pick you, then we'd have a huge connection in Sumeru.
Yes, about that. You didn't let me finish my sentence. The person in charge of personnel affairs nominated me to be the Grand Sage in place of Azar and help Lesser Lord Kusanali manage the Academia. But I refused.
You reacted too soon, Paimon.
Why? Ugh, can't you be a little more ambitious?
I'm not even interested in being one of the 6 great sages. Like I said before, I don't like being a leader.
Oh, all right. So are you busy these days trying to find others to take the job?
That's not my job either. I'm only responsible for handling important affairs within the Academia before the new sages take office. And the first thing I'll do is reject Kasharawar's application for funding.
By the way, who was that other person just now? Is he your friend?
Do we look like friends?
Yes. You look like
Doesn't know.
lovers.
That's why Paimon's asking.
His name is Kaveh, my roommate. You could say he's the representative for Ksharawar scholars. Which is exactly why he always has so many problems.
So everything that's happened recently must be a huge
You are
change
kind of
for
an
the
ass
people
to him.
of Sumeru.
Such is the work of the Academia Scribe.
Well, anyway, no matter how busy you are, since you are our planner, remember to attend the celebration feast in 2 days.
Alright, I'll see you there.
Yeah, since we don't have to fight anybody for a while. Do we have any other Dendro? I don't think so. Nope. Deploy. We got the boys and Kale. I'm intrigued by Kabe's playstyle. But they're not... how do I say this? They're not really good at actually fighting. But that's okay.
This is Port Ormos. Now where could...
Is that Paimon I hear?
Huh?
Oh, it's been a while. How are you doing?
Dinyarzad! It's been so long since we've seen you!
I'm doing well. I can go as far as saying I have never been happier in my entire life. I don't know if you've heard, but Elazar has completely disappeared, and all the patients have recovered.
You kidding? Knowing them and the connections they've got, I'm sure they've heard about it. That's right. My lady is feeling better now, so I'm accompanying her for a walk.
Why do you still call me that, Dia? You've already informed my father of your resignation.
I guess I'm just used to calling you my lady. Old habits die hard.
Makes sense.
Resignation? You mean you're quitting?
Yeah, I might start losing my edge if I keep being a bodyguard for the Homayanis.
You know that my parents and I are fond of you, and that we appreciate you very much. It wouldn't be a problem if you wish to continue to be our bodyguard.
I'm not a woman that's easily persuaded. You should know that by now, my lady. When I took this job, I had already decided that I'd quit as soon as you recovered. It's time for me to get back out there and chase that horizon.
So what are you gonna do now if you're not gonna be a bodyguard anymore?
I want to take a risky job and put my body to the test again.
Huh? But we literally just finished one of the most dangerous jobs ever. Are you getting bored already?
I know. If I hadn't joined in that plan with you,
Checks
I wouldn't
out.
have come up with this idea. I guess I still get fired up by that feeling of going all out in a fight. It made me realize that I'm still a mercenary through and through. Life is short, and I'm happy that I got to be a part of that operation. But the whole thing also made me realize that there are still many problems in Sumeru. And as a desert dweller, I'm still not completely ready to settle down on this side of the wall.
Well, I remember a friend had someone bring you a message.
You mean I'll hate them? I didn't expect him to still remember that. I thought he was joking.
We just came from talking with Alhaitham at the Academia.
Did he tell you that he suggested that I come work at the Academia? I heard that Azar and his cronies fell from power, and Alhaitham told me that now was a good time to find a job in the Academia, but only if I wanted to.
Whoa. Paimon can't see you being anything other than a mercenary.
Me neither. But I think Dia would look great dressed up as a scholar.
Ugh, forget about it. I wouldn't last 10 seconds in there.
You would probably end
Alhaitham
up
probably
working
just liked the way I
for
worked and
Sino
knew
or
I'm
something
good in
like
a
that.
fight. So he suggested I find some work in the Academia.
But you know, if you take him up on the offer, Sino might actually agree and let you become a Matra.
Exactly.
Because you're
Why is
super
Paimon
amazing.
making the most sense?
The Matra have all the talent they need as long as they have Sino. I prefer to be free to live however
That's
I
not
choose.
how that works. In fact, we personally showed they're very bad at their job. Especially when Sino gets plucked from power. Without Sino, they're just a group of, like, people. You would definitely help out. But I get it. You want to be a mercenary. Any excuse is a good excuse to reject it.
In fact, I chose this job from the very start because I knew it'd be right up my alley.
Even if being a mercenary means facing all kinds of danger.
A lion has to return to the wild sooner or later. If anything, being your bodyguard has been unfamiliar territory for me.
I don't want to see you go, but I'll respect your decision.
I'm glad to hear you say that. Come on, no need for the sad face. It's not like we'll never meet again. Once the whole Dendro Archon thing is settled, everything in Sumeru will take a turn for the better. But a peaceful society will probably mean less demand for mercenaries like me. Before long, we'll be a dying breed. So I'd better get to work while I still can.
Peace only lasts so long.
Wait a second. You make it sound like you're leaving now.
Well,
Like,
no, not
even
yet, at
in
least.
like
I promised my lady I'd stick around until next week.
peaceful countries, there are still armies, and there are still wars. It's just never on your land. Because everything is built up so that it doesn't happen. Nobody has any power individually. They can see the true might of their own military. So even if they did have an opinion and would want to fight for it, it would be very terrifying. So most people wouldn't even want to. And even if they do get up a force, you're unlikely to succeed. A country would still need for mercenaries, especially one that's way back then, because you can still help them fight wars, especially when you're, you know, a super powered badass. So somebody else there. And you can still help them with situations that arise. And especially with a place like this where it's so easy for them to become corrupt or need an overthrowing or just to hold down the citizens. You can't call it that peaceful of a country. You can't call the situation they're currently in peaceful, especially because there's like a power vacuum right now that anyone might try and seize and use to hurt the people. And by hurt the people, I mean for their own gain. If they thought, you know, hurting the people would help them.
So, have you been in Port Ormos this entire time? We were wondering if you had received a letter from Nilu.
Oh, did Nilu write to us?
She heard that you were seen in Port Ormos, so she sent the letter here.
Huh. It was probably sent to the inn that we're staying at. My lady has been very energetic lately and keeps taking me on hikes, staying out even into the night. By the time we get back, the receptionist is usually off napping on the job.
Right, and we tend to leave quite early in the morning, so the old man on duty is also usually dozing off.
So what it really sounds like is that the person on duty is always asleep.
I bet the letter's at the reception desk. I'll go check later.
No wonder there wasn't a reply. You never received the letter. Good thing Nilu asked us to come and check on that.
Sorry to make you two come all the way out here.
It must be something important for Nilu to specifically write to us like that.
Yes, she said they were preparing a victory feast in the Grand Bazaar, and will also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. She was hoping you could come.
Great! I'll be sure to attend.
Count me in too. But is there some sort of dress code or anything for the feast?
Since it's being organized by Nilu, I don't think she'll be too picky about that.
All right, then this is how I'll show up.
The feast will be held in 2 days, so don't forget.
You call it a feast, but it's more like a
Sure.
victory dinner.
Thank you so much for letting us know.
You got like
We'll
a
see you
handful
there.
of people showing up.
Oh, by the way, do you happen to know where Sino and Raman are?
The General Mahamatra always comes and goes without a trace.
Oh.
But last time we met, he mentioned that he had something to do in Aru village. As for Raman, your guess is as good as mine. I only remember he said that he had something to discuss with Sino. Don't mention it. You'd better get going.
All right, on to our next stop.
On to our next stop.
The process of elimination.
Whoops. You didn't see that. Okay, so she's gonna be busy with that until the whole feast thing is done. That doesn't look like anything important. Okay, there it goes.
Scanning.
I hear everything.
Yeah.
Feast your eyes.
Get him up.
Can't see.
I hate that guy
Let's nip
just.
that in the butt.
I was trying to light the ground on fire so that it would start damaging him, but he kind of ignored it.
Here you are.
And aimed at somebody else instead. Oh, come on. Why'd the enshroud go up top? So stupid.
Can't see.
He just starts swinging wildly if he can't see, huh? Sorry, I should get back to the mission. I was just kind of gonna grab his chest real quick, but I wanted to see if I could build up Dendro with these guys. It seems like they're decent at it.
Curses. There's sand in my shoes.
It's gotta be up top, right? Alright. Well, let's try first, before I go assuming. There's no way. Okay. This is right here anyway. Just thought it might be easy. What's that exclamation mark? Never mind. One day I'll go figure out what that exclamation mark is, but so I know.
It's been a while since we last visited Aru Village. Ah, there's Sino!
What brings you?
We recovered well, and Tanari agreed to let us leave, so now we're out and about again.
It seems Gandharvaville's medical treatment is still as good as ever.
And Tainari is recovering well, too.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, you're the one who brought us to him when we lost consciousness.
You're welcome. Tainari has excellent medical skills, and Kale is quite attentive. It was the best place for you.
But why are you just...
I'm meeting some...
Oh!
I've already talked with Candace and the village chief. But you know one of the people...
Oh, by King Deshret's blessing, my friend suddenly appears in the desert. Don't tell me you've run into trouble and need us to help now.
Roman! And... Huh? Sataria?
Oh, you know me?
Oh, well, you're pretty famous in the academia.
Don't worry, these are our friends. No need to be so guarded.
I see.
Is she the girl where we fucked with her head? Can't remember.
I'm doing well. Many good things have happened recently.
Same here. Really, I feel that my whole life has started to shine after suddenly finding a new direction.
Oh, tell us everything.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Alright, well, I suppose I should start by saying I've decided to leave the academia.
What?
It's not that I've given up on being a scholar. Instead, you could say I've found a new identity. I will no longer pursue research like a typical scholar, but I have not completely given up on my relationship to knowledge either.
I can see what you're saying now.
What do you mean?
I plan to leave the academia and return to teach here in the desert.
That's nice.
So you want to become a teacher?
Sataria will return to support education here and teach people from the desert. She can't teach everyone on her own, but there are many of us Eremites all over Sumeru. She came to discuss a collaboration with me and hoped that I could bring...
Yes, it's my hope that the Eremites can help me select a group of smart people with the best aptitude for teaching. I'll teach them, and after they've finished learning from me, they can go educate more people. That is the true meaning of education, and...
The people of King Deshret suffer from sandstorms, exile, and ignorance. Miss Sataria is more than welcome to come teach here. Her arrival is like a star shining in the desert night.
I feel like rather than that, you should talk. I'm assuming, because I think she's the one who came from here, she knows what they need to learn. Basically, to better live in the desert, make better homes, and better support themselves and come up as a country. Or as a part of Sumeru, or whatever the heck they decide they want to do. But just saying you're going to teach teachers to teach everyone about everything doesn't really say what you're going to teach. How that's going to help the people. It just says that you want to help your people and you want to teach. You need to be clear about what you're going to teach, because to begin with, you don't know everything about everything, and you're probably not planning to teach them basics like how to speak words and sentences, and grammar, and all that crap. And you're probably not teaching them basic math unless, you know, they need it to learn whatever it is you're trying to teach them. Which is my point. What are you trying to teach them? She could very well fail because she hasn't decided what exactly she's trying to do.
The stars have always guided caravans, thieves, soldiers, and travelers who get lost in the night. They lead those in the dark out of trouble and back to safety.
Oh, please. Where's all of this coming from? I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed.
You deserve these compliments. Mercenaries are accustomed to danger and don't fear death.
Sataria's idea will bring much good to many people.
At first,
Sure
I
it will.
feared it was destined to fail. Everyone knows that the academia doesn't allow scholars to teach in the desert without permission. As you know, all knowledge is under their surveillance and control, and very few desert dwellers are as lucky as me.
Which is why they're bastards.
But what I heard at that time has been haunting my heart, as if there were lightning bolts constantly bombarding my soul.
Sataria, you tread a treacherous path, and the longer you ignore it, the tighter the Academia's grasp on you will become.
Yeah, she is the one we fucked with.
Sataria, why haven't you gone home?
Miss.
These words sparked something in me, and I knew that I had to bring something back to my people after going home. I gathered up the courage to approach the Grand Sage, only to find that he was no longer at the Academia.
Well, I'm
Lord
glad
Sino
it
told me that Azar didn't
helped her,
belong
but
there anymore.
still not good that we
Azar
did
has
that.
received much needed punishment. Though, if you ask me, it may have been too light. You probably have already heard.
Lord Sino helped me obtain permission to leave the Academia for the desert, and accompanied me here to discuss collaboration with members of the Eremites. My plan was able to go smoothly thanks to him and Rahman.
You're all doing so much for the desert.
Aside from that, I also have some other business to discuss with Sino.
Lesser Lord Kusanali has allocated many resources to support and develop the desert. I've done some business for her, and part of it required the assistance of the Eremites. I applied for a few batches of educational materials from the Academia, and sent them to several groups in the desert, as instructed by Lesser Lord Kusanali.
That's exactly what the people here need. Physical...
Apart from this, the Academia is also recruiting scholars that are willing to teach in the desert. I'll let you and Satarian know as soon as I have any more news. We must be persistent about this, and...
This is the first time in Remember these words. Here lies our faithful priest, Kasala. His wisdom... I hope people with wisdom like that priest will rise again among the desert dwellers.
Enough about us. Are you here to discuss some business?
No, not at all. Neva wanted to write to everyone, but she wasn't sure where the letters should be sent, so she asked us. A celebration feast will be held at the feast. We'll also be celebrating Sino's reinstatement as General Mahamatra. Although, judging from your appearance, it seems you've already been reinstated.
Celebration? Feast? It's the first I've heard of it.
Tainari was right. He really didn't know.
This feast is for you, Sino. Sounds to me like you'll have to be there.
It's rare to see that kind of expression from Lord Sino. You must not like feasts very much.
Honestly, just offer him a
No,
TCG
not
card.
really.
Well, I still have a lot to handle here. Besides, I need to look after Miss Sataria in the desert, so I'll have to pass.
I'm afraid I won't be able to join you. Although, if you'd be so kind, please give a message to Miss Neat. The message is, I'm sorry for how I treated you before, but now you and the art you symbolize are not only beautiful, but also lively and powerful. Please keep dancing.
Okay, we've got all that down. Our job here is complete as well. Oh,
Okay.
Got it.
Finally. Finally. We're almost done. I think that should be fine. Not, we'll just a little bit more. As we stand frozen still in the desert.
Book learning alone is not enough to cultivate intelligence. All those scholars in the academia
Between
are
19
prime
and
examples.
24. Okay.
Wait.
today's the big day. Let's go to the Grand Bazaar and see how the celebration...
Hell yeah. Finally. I can finally finish. I can finally finish this quest. Ugh. It's been so fucking long.
were the last ones to arrive.
You're here.
Ah, there you are.
Well, look who finally decided to show up.
You look like you came here immediately after finishing up some work. I'm very happy to see you here.
But we're not late, are we? It's just that everyone else arrived ahead of time.
I propose that the last one who arrived be put in charge of today's speeches.
Nah, there won't be any speeches today.
Oh, really? Well, even better.
Come join us over here.
Even better. Agreed.
Let's share some great food and drinks, and chat about all sorts of fun things.
Everything looks quite good.
Wow. Paimon?
Okay, let me get.
Whoa. It's so delicious. Oh, this grilled meat tastes amazing.
The food was specially prepared for you by everyone in the Grand Bazaar. And we have gifts that were sent by the residents of Sumeru City when they heard we were holding a feast. Everyone that came said that you saved Sumeru.
Ah, feels kinda nice to be seen as a hero.
Being a bodyguard is also a hero's job.
My lady sure has a way with words. Thanks. I'm glad to hear it.
And I'm happy to meet everyone that participated in the great plan.
Don't mention it.
Come to think of it, we've really done something impressive together. It's unbelievable.
We owe it to our abilities. And luck.
Really? Why do I remember everybody thinking that luck was against us and feeling like we hardly had a chance of succeeding?
That's how I remember it too.
It's luck that brought us together, and it was luck that let us form a team. Then, it took even moreover. Judging from the results, everything worked out well.
Yeah. Everyone gave it their all when it mattered most. It was almost like a performance. Everyone played their part.
Oh, Nilu, hush.
would
Why
you
is
say
everything
we're
gotta be a
good
performance?
actors too?
It's such a blessing that Lesser Lord Kusanali was able to return to power at the Academia.
Yes, even after being abandoned and neglected so many times, she's finally returned. Uh-huh. Lesser Lord Kusanali once used all her power in a great disaster, which resulted in her losing all her wisdom and memories of the past. The Academia basically abandoned her because of it. This should be something everybody should remember. Huh? You look surprised. I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
No, everything you said is correct.
That's good.
Something wrong?
Yeah, that's not the story we know.
Yeah, what's with that face? You knew all of this already.
No, because the story we know is essentially Greater Lord Kusanali. Oh, because they forgot. Because she wiped everyone's memory of her. Oh, fuck. Because when she did that, they forgot about her. So now there's a story basically of how it happened. Because what actually happened is Greater Lord Kusanali, quote unquote, disappeared. She shut herself off to protect everyone, leaving her other form, which is Lesser Lord Kusanali, which then they all ignored and neglected because she wasn't the Greater Lord Kusanali. And the Greater Lord Kusanali was actually the one and the same person, but she had to close herself away, and then she actually removed herself, leaving Nahida in charge. It's basically her, but with no memories of before a specific time. This is just how everybody knows it now. The repercussions of the situation.
Even if those two giants of the Academia are here, I still have to say it. Those sages really have some
R.I.P.
nerve.
R.I.P.
500 years ago, Lesser Lord Kusanali used all her power for the people of Sumeru. And what did they do in return?
Yeah, it was Greater Lord Ruka do something. Our character doesn't understand what happened. Nahida doesn't remember either. We're the only one that remembers because we're from another world. It won't affect this world, and this world forgetting her does not affect us because we are not from here. It's not a secret. It's a fucking curse.
If you bite the hand that feeds you, don't act surprised when it turns into a knuckle sandwich, right, Sino?
Perhaps I shouldn't say this, but their treatment of Lesser Lord Kusanali calls for a more severe punishment.
You could simply tell Lesser Lord Kusanali that you wish to have Azar and his accomplices severely punished.
I respect our deity's decision, and won't interfere in any way. While we're on this topic, why didn't you accept the Academia's invitation to become the Grand Sage?
Are you trying to say that I'm fit to be a sage?
Not at all. But every person handling the selection process has said that you are the most suitable candidate to lead the Academia right now.
Why? Because he dethroned Azar from power?
Could you try to put it another way? This is a good thing, yet you're making it sound like I overthrew Azar for my own personal gain.
But seriously though, I always wondered if you had some personal motives behind it.
I did have my own motive, but it had nothing to do with being a sage. If the rules of our nation were suddenly cast by the wayside, then it wouldn't be long until chaos ensued. I had no intention of letting their dreams disrupt my life.
By that, you mean your life working as the Academia's scribe.
Precisely.
Wait, is that all?
So, that's the only reason why you joined us and came up with all those plans?
It's reason enough.
You've certainly got quite the personality.
You flatter me.
All right then. How about you? You've already resumed work as the General Mahamatra, right?
That's right.
Will you be happy with that life?
It's not about being happy. There are merely a lot of things that I must do.
Even so, keep your spirits up and try to be happy, okay? And try to smile more every day, just like I'm doing now.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind.
Why do we always have to talk to everyone?
My lady, the
I'm skipping through this.
What in a
You said it. Oh, look who else is here.
Hello. Oh, I'm so happy, Nilou.
Hey, lesson.
I seldom participate in such lively gatherings. But no. This gathering, the Grand Bazaar is that happy. Oh well.
They're all just gonna give small chit chat. I'm not that interested.
Ah, there you are, traveler. Well, how is it? It's the first, you see, make
I don't
sure
even
you
see a
live it up
point in
tonight.
this outside of just wasting my time.
I'm honored to have her think of me. I can't explain why.
Maybe a means as to get you to do that, but you could have just said, oh yeah, tell her that.
The atmosphere here is good. I don't often have a lot to handle these days.
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop. Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You'll wake up once you've put something yummy in your tummy. Of course, just wait here for...
I'm on thinking about somebody eating other than herself. Nope, something else is going on. Oh, here we go. Is it Hat Boy? Usually when time stops like this, it's Hat Boy.
It's me.
Oh, it's Nahida.
You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. I was thinking about talking with you, and the next thing I knew, I had made a connection with you. The connection between us is amazing. It's like flora and the fence it grows upon. I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. Lately I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout from recent events, so I really haven't had any free time. Although you've already helped me with a lot, there's still one more thing I hope you can help me with. Please say thank you to everyone for... But if I just show up all this, what if I end up scaring them and ruining this wonderful feast? Yes, I have. You said I should go thank everyone as myself, right? So... I've decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky.
That's not a good way to do things. Come on, you can't just take people's bodies. You could do some awful things like that.
Everyone! Are you awake now? Paimon was just about to bring you the food. It's me. Huh? That voice. Nahida?
Hold up, what's going on?
I didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand Bazaar. Interesting. Is this also a part of the feast?
No, of course not. Are you... Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Hello, Nilu.
You know who I am?
Yes. I already know every one of you.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the traveler's body so that I could thank all of you in person.
That was a weird transition and
Thank you so much
unnecessary.
for rescuing me, even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the academia.
You could have just had her
the
like
sages,
vision
the doctor,
twirl
the
around the
balladeer,
Paimon and then back
and
around
even
to
the
her and her just be
entirety
a
of
child.
Sumeru.
Would have been a
Without
lot less
you,
jarring.
Without any of you, I would have been in a much more difficult situation. Had you not helped me to resolve the crisis, not only I, but Sumeru and even people refer to you as the heroes who managed to rescue a god. And please, allow me to present to you my most sincere gratitude.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and I didn't even have a chance to do anything for you.
Dinyarzad, the suffer-
You don't need to be so ceremonious. It's always been my duty to protect you.
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be.
You're an Archon, but you act so humble.
I'm honored to have been able to take part in this plan.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much.
Like that. They could have just done that. They didn't have to make it so jarring the first time.
Yeah.
Whatever. Still a cute little thing.
Are you awake? Did you rest well? After Nahida left, you ate a lot of food. You've become a glutton. That just means you still have a lot to learn from Master Paimon, the Sage of Gluttony. All right, since you're awake now, should we go and have a chat
She
with
isn't.
Nahida? She should be in the academia right about
She's
now. If you have any questions, now's your chance.
She's a demon of gluttony. Truly a true Paimon amongst Paimon. I think the one downside to these paths is when you look at them and they look like they're going two ways, sometimes you end up going the wrong way. Especially because They don't look like they're going in a specific direction. I mean, if you're observant enough, it doesn't matter, but it's gotten me a time or two. I thought I was going in a direction because I kind of looked at it and then went. I ended up going a complete wrong way. Nahida! Nahida! Nahida!
Hello, traveler in
Nahida!
What a fantastic night! I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy, like a candle floating on water. So are we, and that's why we're here to talk with you. Is there anything you want to know?
About the balladeer.
He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would hide a feather. I know you have many misgivings about
How would
him,
one hide a feather?
but as someone who had become a god, he has retained a number of very useful features. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't do any evil. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective, but he is still yet to understand them himself. His future will be determined by fate. Is that where you're headed next? Fontaine, the Nation of Justice? As far as I know, that nation operates in a judicial system. Does their archon personally judge people? No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra Archon, Focalor, won't preside over individual trials. However, even then, Focalor will still make herself present at just about every trial. It seems that she just likes to immerse herself in that sort of atmosphere. As Archon, she still reserves the right to influence the final verdict.
I don't like that.
Anyway, let's just say she's got, a very unique personality.
Because, like, especially with a being that's that old, being able to influence a verdict on things is not a good thing. Because who knows what decision she'll make. Let somebody go free because she feels like it or she thinks they're innocent. Like, potentially it could do a lot of good, especially if they're like a god. But as we've seen, the gods in this are practically just humans who live forever and have some special powers. Which aren't much different than, you know, our characters. And so it's not that good of an idea to have her be able to reserve judgment. Maybe to say she could say a judge is not good enough or somebody along the line is somebody bad, should be fired or something like that. Maybe that could be seen as like a, oh, she doesn't like how this person did something, so look into them and see if they're a bad person or something. But to just leave it up to her whims is probably not a good thing.
Are you sure? Isn't there something else you haven't asked about yet? Huh? You? About your sister. While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your sister. Yeah! Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information and memories of Tevat? So there shouldn't be anything on him or his sister.
Yeah, but she's lived in Tevat for like 500 years.
Irminsul indeed does not
Something like
have
that.
any information on you. However, there must be something different about your sister. Because, as it turns out, the world has recorded information on her after all. What? There is only one possible explanation. She belongs to this world. But nothing about this makes any sense. Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat? According to the records I was able to access, your sibling suddenly appeared in Conria. After the Conria disaster, she began her journey through the 7 nations of Teyvat. But just as her journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irminsul records on her suddenly become fuzzy. What do you mean, fuzzy? Did something happen to her? All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons only they can know, is deliberately obfuscating her fate. And whoever it is, if they can do that, who knows what else they're capable of. But even that wouldn't explain how she somehow comes from this world. Something else I noticed was that according to these records, the Fatui have not classified your sibling as one of the Descenders.
Something weird's going on here. Because I was gonna say, it's potential that the world just recognized that she belongs there, you know? Because she's been living there a long time, and she herself might see her as somebody who belongs to this world. But they seem to be going with a different plotline. It wouldn't make sense with the stuff they've said.
What's a Descender? Paimon's never heard of it. Look, I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui in return for my gnosis, right? A very important part of the intel was about this world's Descenders. External beings, ones that don't belong to this world. Traveler, you are Teyvat's 4th Descender. Huh?
I can think of a couple that are maybe some.
Descenders before the Traveler, and his sister isn't even one of them? That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first Descender was likely what we now call the Heavenly Principles. As for the other Descenders, I still need to verify their existence. It could take me some time. Paimon's head's about to burst from all this crazy new information. And yet, even knowing all this, I'm sure you must still have a lot of unanswered questions. I must say, I truly regret that I can't help you more as the God of Wisdom. There are many questions in my
There's
heart as
maybe
well. I need some
2
time
other
to go
people
through
that I
each
can
one of
think
them.
of, at least in the history of like the characters that we randomly get knowledge of that seem kind of like important and maybe were something else. But I can't be sure. And there's not much to indicate that they came from another world or suddenly appeared. So I'm going to leave those in my thought bank.
And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew and depart from Sumeru. I'm very interested in your future. It's a journey that can't be observed or recorded by this world. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future will be the ultimate fate.
No.
I'm sure glad we got to meet you,
It's just the
Nikita.
fate out of this world.
The pleasure is all mine. I can't thank you enough. Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you ever miss me, just close your eyes, and maybe I'll appear in your dreams.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I don't know which one we want to do next. It'll probably be Destined Encounter. And before that, I'll finish the other story we were doing, which is this one. I won't do it right now, but this will essentially be what we'll do next time, probably. But yeah, that was really interesting. Alright. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.